This is one of my favorite stories. The story of Reginald F. Lewis, America's first black billionaire. Imagine being a young boy in Baltimore, Maryland, growing up in a working class neighborhood during the 1940s and 50s. The odds were stacked against you: segregation, limited opportunity, and very few role models that looked like you in the world of big business. Yet, Reginald F. Lewis would rise from those beginnings to become the first African-American billionaire, building a legacy that continues to inspire generations today. Reginald Lewis was born on December 7th, 1942. And even as a child, people noticed his sharp-minded abilities and his leadership skills. By the time he was 10 years old, he had already developed a reputation for being focused and ambitious. While many kids in his neighborhood were content with just the everyday hustle, young Reginald had a vision. He once wrote in a school assignment that he wanted to be a businessman and make money not just for himself, but to change his family's future. He excelled in school, earning a football scholarship to Virginia State University. But what truly set him apart wasn't his athletic ability. It was his determination. He majored in economics, and he quickly realized he had a gift for strategy and negotiation. One of the most remarkable turning points in his life came in 1965. After graduating college, Lewis decided he wanted to attend Harvard Law School. And the story goes something like he never even completed a traditional application. Instead, after attending a special summer program at Harvard, his brilliance stood out so much that he was admitted into the full law school class. That was a first. This made him one of the very few African Americans at Harvard at the time. At Harvard, Lewis gained the tools that would allow him to master the language of business, deals, contracts, and corporate finance. After graduating, Lewis began his career at a top New York law firm, working in corporate law. But something bothered him. He noticed that while he was helping negotiate big mergers and acquisitions, he was always on the sidelines. The lawyers gave him advice, but the real power, decision-making, and wealth belonged to the business owners. Lewis decided he didn't want to just be a lawyer at the table. He wanted to be the man who owned the table. So in 1983, he formed his own investment firm, TLC Group, LP. His strategy was to buy struggling companies, restructure them, and turn them into profitable enterprises. The landmark deal that really set him up was the TLC Beatrice deal, and that happened in 1987. Reginald Lewis made history with this deal. His company, TLC Group, purchased Beatrice International Foods for $985 million. This was one of the largest leveraged buyouts of overseas assets by an American company at the time. And Lewis pulled it off as a black businessman in an era where very few African Americans were even in the room. The company he purchased had operations in 31 countries, making everything from snack foods to grocery products. Under his leadership, Beatrice Foods skyrocketed, reaching revenues of nearly $2 billion annually. This deal officially made Reginald Lewis the first African American billionaire. He proved that brilliance and boldness could overcome barriers of race and access. Even as his wealth grew, Lewis never forgot where he came from. In 1992, he donated $3 million to Harvard Law School, the largest single gift at any time from an individual African American. In recognition, the school named its international law building the Reginald F. Lewis International Law Center. And if you're on the campus of Harvard today, you'll still be able to see that building. He also gave generously to cultural and educational institutions, including museums and programs designed to inspire Black youth. His message was clear. Success wasn't just about personal wealth, it was about opening doors for others. Sadly, Reginald Lewis' life was cut short, And in 1993, at only 50 years old, he passed away from brain cancer. Yet, in those 5 decades, he accomplished what many believe was impossible. He left behind his wife and his 2 daughters. More importantly, he left behind a blueprint of what's possible for African Americans in business at a time when such achievements were rare. Why is this story so important? This story is important because of a one man's determination, Reginald Lewis, and that a story would impact us even today, that when you're determined and focused, there's nothing truly you can't overcome and achieve. So I believe this is one of the great American business stories, not just of a black man, of any man, and I am proud to be able to bring it to you. I hope that this story encouraged you. I hope that you find it inspirational, and I hope you too will be determined to do whatever it is that God's called you to do. God bless and have a wonderful day.